The call that made me want to quit EMS. I never thought that I would leave EMS until this call or these calls. But whatever happened, it was worse than the call itself. If you're new to EMS, I'm going to share with you what they don't tell you in EMT school, what they don't tell you in paramedic school, and what to look out for so you don't burn out early, as I did and as so many others do. Now, when we talk about the call, I guess we could put an S at the end of it because it's the calls. The type of calls that give you emotional, mental weight, from dealing with pediatric arrest to people calling the ambulance for headaches at 3 in the morning when you're feeling tired, to having to deal with this obese person who you've picked up before. They didn't listen to the guidance that you gave them, the guidance that they received in the hospital. Now they're overweight and in cardiac arrest with a diabetic amputation that's infected, and now you got to carry them with their amputation in your face, all with the infection. It's emotional, it's mental. It causes a moral conflict because you're supposed to be this patient advocate. You're supposed to be helping these people, but at the same time, you're still human. And the calls, it's kind of like the camel that broke the scam. This kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. You've probably heard this analogy before, where you have a camel, you put one straw in its back and it doesn't do anything to it. You put two straw and it doesn't do anything to the camel. But eventually, you put enough straws on the camel's back, it'll break the camel's back. These calls, one after the other, some of them are invigorating, some of them are fun, some of them are good, and they re-energize you and make you feel great for helping somebody. But on the majority of cases, you got to learn how to handle these things physically, emotionally, and professionally, because you'll have paramedics, you'll have EMTs that they run to the alcohol, they run to the food. It's a normal venting mechanisms, whether you're a first responder or not. A lot of times stress is one of those things that's shared without consent. Remember, you're a patient advocate, and your patient is supposed to sign in the dotted line consenting to your treatment, consenting to your transport. But when it comes to stress, on or off the ambulance, people are sharing it without consent. And you got to learn how to vent, have positive venting mechanisms. In my particular situation, these calls that I've been on with unprofessional partners who don't care about the patient, the best way I vented was I would put the vehicle out of service. I would clean it up. They usually give you half an hour to 40 minutes. I'll clean it up as fast as I could, between 5 to 10, and use the other 30 minutes to do body weight squats. Put on the air conditioner at full blast so I won't get any body odor at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, just to vent. Do push-ups. Pick up the oxygen bag enough times. It gets heavy. Don't ever apologize for doing the right thing. If your partner is like, hey, what are you, some kind of fitness buff? Just challenge that person to join you in push-ups. Whenever you hear someone trying to belittle the fact that you're trying to take care of your mental health, go ahead and encourage them, challenge them to join you. This is the way I handled it. My partners, they reached the point where they were like, hey, this guy, there's no budging him. There's no peer pressure with this guy. It looks like these calls are affecting him. And what I would do is be a patient advocate, continue to communicate with my partner, but only about things that are related to the job and the patient care at hand. I wouldn't start chit chat on these calls that were emotionally taxing, because at the end of the day, some people don't care as much as you do. If you're watching this video, then most likely you're one of those people who cares about the patient, who cares about themselves, who cares about doing the right thing. Most people are just there for the paycheck. So like I said, it's emotionally taxing. These calls, they add up over time. Just so you guys can know, a friendly reminder, I started as an EMT in 2003. It's 2025 now. And the best way to handle these type of calls is to first have positive venting mechanisms. I went from being fat to fit. And the reason why is because I stopped smoking. I stopped drinking and stopped running to the 7-Eleven looking for comfort. Now, when we talk about what happened, My coworker's reaction when I was like this picture right here after calls. I mean, I felt good for the most part, but there was a lot of times where you had a pediatric arrest, where you had a tough call, where your life was in danger, and they get to you. Most coworkers' reactions, they didn't even notice. Like some coworkers were like 80, 90 hours working per week trying to pay off their loans, trying to pay off their school. They were so busy just worrying about making ends meet that they didn't 100% realize the fact that our life was just threatened on the last call. Or on another reaction, some coworkers will go and smoke a cigar, run to 7-Eleven and get an energy drink or kind of brush it off, similar to me, where you become immune to it. It's like compassion fatigue. There's definitely lack of support because your coworkers are suffering in silence as well. You can't pour from an empty cup. In EMS, you have a lot of people who have mental health issues. You'll see as your journey continues that some people have psychiatric issues, and those psychiatric issues are somewhat contagious. Look up SIG E CAPS, SIG E CAPS. These are signs and symptoms that are used to diagnose somebody with depression. A lot of first responders have it. But that's because they can't pour from an empty cup. They can't support you. They can't deal with the stress because a lot of times the stress that they have are aligned with them gaining weight, for example. It's a toxic culture. There's lack of professionalism. I love being a paramedic. I'm retired now. But you're entering. Please understand. It's like high school. Like whatever you do, whether you make a mistake or not with a patient, now, I don't want to discourage you from working because what ends up happening is when you're good at doing whatever it is that you're doing and you do the things that I share on this channel, if you follow my lead, then you don't care about being put under a microscope. If your web browser history is clean, then who cares if the web browser history that I use goes out to the public? So don't do in private what you don't want to be exposed because privacy is no longer existent. If there is a toxic culture, if there is lack of professionalism, that's their problem. You got to be the exception. This is the what I went ahead and always told myself. I'll be the one to remember the protocols. I'll be the one to clean the ambulance. If I so happen to be working with somebody who looks at life the same way, then it's going to be a good shift. This is something that happened regularly. I don't want you to think that I was the only person in the world who cared about patient advocacy. There's other paramedics, there's other EMTs that feel the same way, and hopefully you will work with a person like that. But also, in every profession, there's always a bad apple. There's these people who are trauma junkies. They call themselves the trauma kings. I'm guilty of it as well, where the more the patient suffers, the happier they are because they got the adrenaline rush. They're just wanting that dopamine hit. It's a lack of professionalism. These same people show up to the scene with a fitted cap, sagging their uniform pants. I know because I used to do it myself. And these things, they add up. You start noticing, like, damn, this person, my coworker, didn't really care about the patient. My coworker's unprofessional. He lashed out at this customer, this patient, this whatever you want to name them. This is what ends up happening. Once you start noticing these things, you start to see the profession for what it really is. It's God's work. But a lot of the people that are doing the work are in it for self. And it wasn't a call, it wasn't the patient in need that, or the amount of patients in need. It was more the environment that I was in that made me realize that I needed a change. You have this yearning inside of you. You have this calling of something bigger that needs to get done. And you have to listen to that call. You have to pay attention to the notification that you're receiving from God. Your life has a higher calling. Some people are just perfectly fine eating hot wings at McDonald's or whatever the bar and watching sports games and rooting for their favorite team, that's on them. More power to them. Somebody's got to do it. But in my particular situation, and most likely yours, you're probably feeling like, yo, there's got to be more. And there is. And this is the real reason why I left, because I knew there was more and there was lack of growth. There was lack of challenge. It was to the point where I'll be going up the stairs. I mean, it smells like an asthma patient. Or you could tell it's bull crap. Like I don't know whether it's because I became a doctor or it was just too easy. After a while, saving people's lives was very, very important to me, but it wasn't challenging. There was lack of growth. Like, what's the most you could do? Go to the fire department, at least in New York City, and become a supervisor? For those that are called to be more, who are ambitious, it's not a challenge and it's not enough. But at the same time, EMS will give you incredible life skills. It'll give you people skills. It'll help you prepare better or be better prepared for stressful situations. It'll help you learn how to save a life. It teaches you so much about life. It's not even funny. But at the same time, there is a ceiling and you have to be planning your next move. A lot of people call EMS a stepping stone, but it could be a career path as well. It all depends on you and your particular situation. My situation went into business, medicine, and leadership. If you Google my name, you'll see like I've been featured on Yahoo. I spoke at the US Capitol. I'm a business owner. I do health and wellness consulting for the United States government. And I'm a medical doctor. I've reached over 9 million people worldwide on these platforms. So I started off as a blue collar worker, EMT, who barely made it through EMT school, who dropped out of high school. And now, what you can see here, for example, is this picture. I'm wearing my lab coat at an event where I was teaching people how to reverse diabetes. Sorry, just getting some water. So, what I want the new EMTs to know, first and foremost, if I can do it, you can do it. But also, watch your environment because your coworkers matter way more than you think. They will encourage you to smoke. They will encourage you to cut corners. But if you end up working with somebody like me that's growth minded, they will encourage you to watch videos on David Goggins. They will encourage you to read the Bible. So it all depends who you work with. So be mindful. Look at the person you're working with, especially if it's an old timer. But don't just look at them for their experience. Look at them as a man. Look at them as a woman. Are you a successful human being? Do I want to be like you? If the answer is yes, then I'll be listening to what you say. If the answer is no, then I'll pick and choose the good things from what you're guiding me with. Please understand, years and experience on the ambulance doesn't mean they should be giving you life advice. Because a lot of times, us paramedics, us EMTs with the most amount of experience are the ones that are suffering the most in silence. And you'll see the same paramedic with a big jug of caffeine from Dunkin' Donuts or a big 32-ounce can of Red Bull and smoking and not leading a healthy lifestyle, being a hypocritical healthcare provider. So be careful and don't let those bad habits that they have, that we have, go down and influence you down the wrong path. I've seen it before where a guy gets excited because he became a supervisor, and then 3 to 6 months later, you'll see his whole attitude change because the job consumed him. The job made him start smoking cigarettes. And please understand, your life, your health, your whole well being is way more important than your fucking credit score. Don't stay stuck. EMS is a stepping stone. You can make a career out of it. Being a first responder, it's a commendable job. I highly recommend it. I did it. But you can also treat it as a stepping stone. Use it to build discipline, to build confidence, and to build the life skills. But at the same time, Be strategic. Like, what's next? Am I going to go from EMT to paramedic, or EMT to respiratory therapist? Am I going to become a doctor? Like, what is the next move? Stay growing. Everything in nature grows, everything in nature moves. Don't be the exception of what doesn't. And here's some final words of wisdom. This job will change you for better or for worse. It all depends on how you use it. Look at me in this picture, bro. It's a photo shoot for a commercial that I did. I used the job. I didn't let it use me. I helped every patient that I could. I stayed healthy. And so don't listen to what I say. Don't listen to what anybody says. Watch what they do. Let their results speak for themselves. If you look at this picture, you see a fit paramedic who's also a medical doctor. I don't know about you, but if I'm going to follow somebody's lead, I'll follow someone who's similar to that, who's got the results that I need. Stay grounded. Stay sharp. Stay kind. Be a patient advocate. At the end of the day, our job is to arrive on the scene, transport the patient to the hospital without doing no harm. And in most cases, or in a lot of cases, we get to save lives. So please don't take that for granted. And understand, leaving EMS doesn't necessarily mean you're failing. It could also mean you're growing, as it is in my circumstances. Now, if you're feeling stuck, if you're not sure what to do, what's next in EMS, ask me a question in the comment section, bro. DM me on Instagram. Whatever you want to do, I'm here for you. I'm here to help. And you already know, do all the YouTubey things, like, comment, share, subscribe, and share with somebody who you think will benefit from this. I got you. I hope this helps. Peace.